What's up everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. And as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about the history of Ouran High School Host Club, which is an anime that came out back in 2008. At least the dub actually came out in 2008. But I pretty much wanted to do a video like this because I love watching videos that talk about a series or a particular show and talk about some of the history behind the production of it, any controversies or any little miscellaneous things that happened regarding the production of this actual series or show as a whole. So I decided to do that for some anime shows, and I decided to start off with Ouran High School Host Club, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let's get into talking about it. So the first part I want to talk about though is the plot of Ouran High School Host Club, and the plot is pretty much about a girl by the name of Haruhi Fujioka who starts going to Ouran Academy. Now she ends up not being able to wear or afford the girls' uniform, so she actually ends up wearing a boy's uniform, which has people thinking that Haruhi Fujioka is a boy and not a girl. So one day while she is wandering the halls of Ouran Academy looking for a quiet place to study, she comes across the Ouran High School Host Club. And pretty much there she breaks a vase and they tell her that she has to work for them. But they don't know that Haruhi is actually a she. So Haruhi starts working for them, pretty much just doing like little errands and stuff like that. And then they find out that he is actually a she. And from there, she still ends up working for them as a host, as a host pretty much. And they get into a lot of havoc, and it is an amazing show and I absolutely love it, and I still watch it so much to this day. So let's get into talking about a little bit about the production of Ouran High School Host Club, such as the directors, producers, and those that have been a part of the series, from the Japanese production all the way up to the English production. So let's start out with how Ouran High School Host Club pretty much came to be. So Ouran High School Host Club was pretty much a manga that was written or created by Bisco Hattori, and the manga ran from September 2002 through November 2010. So it ran in the Hakuensha Lala Shoujo magazine. Ouran High School Host Club is also considered to be a part of the Fujiyoshi comedy genre, and pretty much what that is pretty much a Japanese term for female fans of manga, anime, or novels, where there's pretty much a romantic relationships between men, or pretty much known as yaoi is pretty much what it is. But Ouran High School Host Club is also widely considered to be a part of the harem / reverse harem genre, where you pretty much have the main character who is one gender, and then the surrounding characters around that main character are all of the opposite genders. So in Ouran High School Host Club's case, with Haruhi being female and the rest of the hosts being male. So the Ouran High School Host Club anime first started airing on April 5th, 2006 on Nippon Television and ran until September 26th, 2006. The series has a total of 26 episodes, and the show was directed by Takuya Igarashi and was written by Yoji Inokaido. So Yoji Inokaido also wrote other animes like The Revolutionary Girl Utena and also The Melody of Oblivion. The character designs for Ouran High School Host Club and the chief animation director was Kumiko Takahashi, and she also, or I believe she worked on also Cardcaptor Sakura. The series turned out to be a huge hit and actually had a huge fan base, to where a lot of like English voice actors were actually asked if they were ever going to pick up Ouran High School Host Club. And they honestly at the time though could not say anything because of course there's contracts and things like that. The show was actually ended up being licensed by Funimation and in the summer of 2008. And Caitlin Glass, who also ends up voicing Haruhi Fujioka, was also asked to be the director, or be the ADR director for the series. Before Anime Expo in 2008, Funimation also would announce every Friday on their website 2 new cast members for the actual show. And this actually ended up leading up to them actually introducing the main cast at Anime Expo in 2008. And one of the voice actors actually came forward saying that the room was packed, and they actually were really afraid about the reception that it was going to have when they first like showed the main cast, as well as they actually end up showing like I think the first 2 or 3 dubbed episodes of the show. Funimation ended up releasing the first DVD for Ouran High School Host Club on October 28th, 2008, and the second volume, which contained the last 13 episodes, on January 6th, 2009. Now we're going to get into the casting of Ouran High School Host Club. Now I'm not going to talk about the casting for the secondary characters. I'm mostly going to be discussing the casting for the host club members themselves. This is pretty much starting with Tamaki Suo, whose Japanese voice actor was Mamoru Miyano, and the English voice actor was Vic Mignogna. For Haruhi Fujioka, the Japanese voice actor was Maya Sakamoto, and the English voice actor, like I like I said previously, was Caitlin Glass. For Hikaru Hitachi, the Japanese voice actor was Kensha Suzumura, and the English voice actor was Todd Haberkorn. And for Kaoru Hitachi, Hikaru's twin brother, the Japanese voice actor was Yoshinori Fujioto, and the English voice actor was Greg Ayres. For Kiyoya Otori, the Japanese voice actor was Masaya Matsukaze, I believe is how you pronounce it, and the English voice actor was J. Michael Tatum. For Mitsumi Haninozuka, the Japanese voice actor was Ayata Saito, and the English voice actor was Lucy Christian. And then for Takashi Morinozuka, the Japanese voice actor was Daisuke Kiri, and the English voice actor was Travis Willingham. Now, did want to discuss like any controversies that happened during series like this, because I also find that extremely interesting of what goes on behind the scenes that many of us as fans don't ever find out. But Ouran High School Host Club actually doesn't have any controversies. I tried to look and research if there were any, but all I really found were some blog posts that were made by other anime fans, basically talking about some of the problematic aspects of Ouran High School Host Club. Now, I'm basically kind of assuming, or I believe that this is mostly the case of like since the show has been released, and it's where people pretty much have talked about that the show may not have aged well or anything else like that. Just because this always happens, in society, a show comes out and then later on, ideas and things have changed in society. So it makes a show that comes out before these ideas change just not age as well as many people kind of thought it would. So I believe that's where most of those blog posts are coming from. And I know some people might say, oh, well, there was a controversy regarding one of the voice actors. And this is true. And I have talked about this controversy before on my channel regarding this particular voice actor, but I'm not going to discuss it here only because this controversy had nothing to do with the actual series as a whole, as it did not happen during the production of the series or during the release of the series. It happened years later. So I'm really not going to discuss it because I don't really want to get into that topic. So the last thing I have on here is going to be some miscellaneous things regarding this series as a whole. And that is pretty much anything that I thought would be kind of fun to pretty much talk about or discuss. So one of the miscellaneous things is pretty much that there were some characters that were actually cut. There are some characters in the manga that actually do not make it into the anime series, and one of those characters is Satoshi. So Satoshi is actually Mori's younger brother. Mori has a little brother and he is friends with Honey, and he actually has a very different personality from Mori himself. Satoshi is pretty much seen in the manga as being really talkative and very outgoing, while Mori was definitely the strong and silent type, and you really heard him say anything beyond the or Honey's actual name, and that was pretty much it. So yeah, Satoshi is not in the actual anime. Another thing that is also pretty funny about the series that did not make it into the anime is that Mori has another side to his personality. In the manga, it shows that if Mori is tired, he actually becomes very talkative and actually flirts a lot. And he actually ends up flirting with Haruhi in one of the panels. Travis Willingham, who actually voices Mori, actually made fun of this aspect and thought it was kind of interesting, and he made it seem like the writers pretty much took a Nerf gun, spun a wheel, and just kind of shot it to see what other personality traits to give Mori. But I honestly think it would have been really cool to show that aspect of Mori inside of the show, because I honestly really did kind of ship Mori with Haruhi a lot. So yeah, there's that. Caitlin Glass had actually also said during a commentary that's on the dub DVD, I believe, that if the Ouran High School Host Club first manga volume was 40 pages shorter, Kiyoya Otori would not exist. And I'm actually really glad that he does. As many people know, Kiyoya is the more logical of all the host club members. He tends to keep everything very much together. He tends to kind of keep them from getting as riled up as possible. And he's just the more calm one, kind of, in a sense, pretty much. And I would hate if Kiyoya wasn't a part of the show. Now, as far as the second season is concerned, because a lot of people really want a second season of Ouran High School Host Club, there is no second season. And it's a shame because the manga and the anime do have two completely different endings. I'm not going to discuss the endings. If you want to look them up, you can. But many people have been hoping for a second season for years since Ouran High School Host Club actually came out. And at this time, there is no talks of a second season. So some fans have kind of given up there ever being a second season, but because of shows like Fruits Basket getting an entirely new reboot, and that was a show that also many fans wanted a second season for, many people, it kind of caused a lot of fans to kind of reignite this push for them to pretty much do the same thing. Now, at this time, we don't know if that's going to happen, and because of one of the voice actors having a little bit of a controversy surrounding it, if it did happen, I wouldn't be surprised if there were some casting changes regarding it. So yeah, not for sure about that. We'll see in the future if they ever decide to do so. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I have for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the facts or some of the information I gave you guys about Ouran High School Host Club. Let me know if you guys want me to do more shows as well. I probably will, because I actually found this a lot of fun to do. I also have my iPad literally right here, so if you see me like looking down, it's because I don't want to get names wrong or certain information wrong, so I look and see and make sure I'm saying it correctly as well as getting the information correct. So definitely, if you see me doing that, that's literally why. Also, I do have some social media accounts. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, and I also do have a TikTok, so feel free to follow me on there. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And I can always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and in today's day and age, stay healthy, and of course, please stay safe. All right, you guys, bye.